Welcome, one and all. It's so great to see everybody. Most of you know me, Sifu Justin Meehan from St. Louis, Missouri. I am seated here with my very good friend, Vladimir Sidorov.
Yes.
Vlad and I know each other from our many journeys to China. I think we really met around 2007 when we were there, and we became fast friends ever since. I've asked Sifu Vlad to sit with us and maybe talk a little bit about his experiences. We are here in Taipei, Taiwan. What is it, October of 2023?
Correct.
And why are we here? What is the event?
The event here is an internationally accepted tournament, the World Cup in pushing hands. So
we're in Taipei for a major international tournament.
Yep.
Which he and 23 of his students will soon be participating in this weekend.
Yeah, we have 24 hours.
Okay. This isn't going to take that long. Sifu, tell me a little bit about yourself. You live in Moscow.
Yep.
You're here with 23 or 24 of your students, also mostly from Moscow, right?
From Moscow, and I have instructors, school, and people come from all over the country to study, to become teachers.
So I don't know how many people have had the occasion to meet Master Vlad. Oh, Jesus. I'm so sorry about that. If it happened.
Okay.
All right, so I wanted to sit down with Vlad. I don't think people have had a good opportunity to meet him. He's been in the United States a couple of times, but many of you know I've studied ever since 1967 under many, many famous masters. Master Feng is gone now, but I consider Mr. Sidorov one of the most important and accomplished Tai Chi masters in the world, not just Moscow. And I want to give you guys a chance to enjoy the depth of his information. So, Vlad, when you had studied before Tai Chi, you had studied Bach. What had you studied before?
The background is as usual. In Russia, we have a famous boxer in our small city, Olympic champion in lightweight. Yeah. So everybody was practicing boxing. And then karate comes, and everybody was interested.
Japanese, Korean, which one?
Japanese.
Yeah, of
Japanese.
Course. Shotokan?
Shotokan, yeah.
I found that Shotokan, I also began with Shotokan. I found that the foundation and the basics.
It's nice, it's basis, and it gives us all the
foundation. Yeah,
foundation and the possibility to study traditional culture.
Yes,
I love it. I love the ritual, the forms, the kumite.
Yes.
Everything was interesting.
All the things that are missing.
New.
All the
everything
things that are
was
missing
new.
Today.
Yeah, was new, was interesting. Then I was interested in Aikido and studied it for maybe two or 3 years. And then I started to learn traditional Bagua. Lianshi Baguazhang is from family in China. It's traditional style, circular movement, a lot of moving in circles, postures.
Who was teaching Bagua back then?
My teacher was Russian, but he was training in China many times. And after this, I was looking for the martial art, not so much violent, because for me it is important that partner is okay. I have the experience of knockouting, and I didn't like it at all. It was difficult for me. This level of violence is a little bit too high.
Mingbai, that means very clear, understood. So how did you get into Tai Chi?
And in the year 2005, I have a personal crisis. I was almost ready to finish the studying of martial arts because there were no teacher.
Yeah.
There were no teacher. But at this time I was trading some tea for the Moscow restaurants. I was buying tea in China,
wow.
Selecting, in the south, Fujian province. And there, and in Shanghai, in Beijing, I asked maybe somebody will recommend me the great teacher in Tai Chi. And in 3 different cities, they told me about Master Feng. And how it can be the Shanghai, the Fuzhou, and Beijing, they were talking about this, about the same person. And I come to Moscow and I tried to get the recommendation letter.
Because you can't just walk in and pay money and get teaching.
It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate manner in this particular case. It is much more better to have recommendation and to have nice introduction. Yeah.
So when was the first time you met Feng?
It was funny. Some of his top disciples were teaching us in the first day, and he said, "We will study throws." And I said, "No. we would like to study Neigong and breathing and meditation." And he said, "Yeah, but with the help of throws." Yeah. I said, "No. We want direct." Teaching of meditation, of Qigong, of Neigong. And he said, "Really? Nobody asking this stuff." And the next day, teacher Fan come, and he said, "Oh, who is going to study Neigong here?" And he introduced us to the stick and technique.
The Taiji ruler.
And it was very interesting. And of course we push hands with him and he was moving us to all directions, and we were not able to find him. It was so strange because he was 79 years old.
Older than me?
Yeah, older than you. But it was not possible to find his center, to find something to press or to put pressure on him. It was not possible.
Like pushing smoke
or something like this. And for me it was very important to find a teacher whom I would like as a researcher, as a good relation is important. Skill is important, and of course the spiritual aspect is important.
Now,
for me, it was clear. My questions were answered in a manner that I have a feeling of a deep ocean of knowledge. No end, no limit. It was interesting for me because I never before and never after I met people like him.
We were lucky.
We were lucky to see.
Right?
Yeah.
For those of us who maybe don't understand the meaning of Neigong, how would you describe it to someone who had no experience with people? Actually, I've heard people talk about Neigong. I've never seen anybody do it. When I visited you in Moscow, what year I don't even remember the year.
It was maybe 2010 or
Yeah,
something
maybe
like
so,
this.
yeah. I would take some of your classes. Part of the classes was standing on the Taiji ruler, and I was really shocked. It was like standing on the edge of a cliff or something. But what is Neigong? How do you practice it, and what does it do for you? And how is it different from just external?
Internal aspect. The minimum exercise that you can practice all the time is the internal breathing. Is the baby breathing. Is the movement of the center. Is the concentration in the center. It's very good for the health. It is giving you the possibility to change the energy in the center. Our center is full of energy in the beginning of life.
Yeah.
But in the middle of life and after, it becomes empty. Why? Because we have not enough movement here. We think, we talk, and we have lung breathing, but here in the center, we have no movement.
Exactly.
And
but a baby does. You look at a baby, that's the only part.
The first 100 days, it is the reflex of moving the belly, because the baby is breathing with this kind of breathing inside the mother body. Okay?
Now, I know you say I don't like violence, but I've seen your push hands. You guys go at it. You really go at it. How does Neigong improve your ability to do push hands?
It gives you the internal power, the ability to be very much in the center. And the pushing hand is application, and Tai Chi is the connection between internal and external.
Yeah.
It is the perfect connector between what the force which we're applying and our internal force. And the beautiful forms of Tai Chi, the beautiful forms of Hunyuan Taiji especially, they are connecting our internal world, which is inside of us, and the force which we are applying.
And what is it between Neigong and Qigong?
Almost the same.
Yeah.
Different names were historically the Yanshengung, the Daoyin, the Neigong. Qigong is the term invented in 20th century.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly by Hu Yaozhen. Yeah.
One of Master Feng's teachers.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to skip ahead.
He was trying to accumulate all the knowledge about internal work, about preserving health, into his books, and sharing to the general public. In China, the Qigong was usually practiced inside the families, inside the clans, but after the Republic was established, the decision was made that some of this knowledge should be published to the general public, so everybody can practice. But still, masters have their secrets,
sure,
as you know.
Yeah. I sometimes wonder if there's secrets, or you have to be at a certain level in order to grasp it.
To understand.
Yeah.
I think so. But in nowadays we see that internal art, Tai Chi, pushing hands, they are becoming international object. International. A lot of people are practicing, and I hope that in next generation that some of my students will become better than Chinese masters.
Well, some of them have already.
I hope. Why? Because knowledge is shared to the world. We should research.
Ideally.
We should work hard. We should share information.
Yeah.
And then the real development of Tai Chi will start. I see that we are in the very beginning of the process. Yoga is everywhere. Qigong is not. Tai Chi is not. A lot of martial arts, MMA, boxing, but Tai Chi is for everyone. pushing hand is
Well,
for
that was
everyone.
Feng's-
We
that
have
was Feng's-
huge. We have huge market.
This is what
Everybody
Feng
want
said.
to be healthy.
Yeah.
Everyone
For the world.
everyone wants to be calm, to be relaxed, to be happy in this life. This is the function of Qigong. This is the function of Tai Chi to make body happier. Sometimes we have challenges. To be ready for challenge, everyone should be a little bit martial artist.
Yeah.
We are not talking about hard things, about war. No, but some kind of confrontation. Yeah, we should be ready to.
Shen, spirit, is a big part of the Hunyuan system.
Yeah.
Now, I know you and your reputation as, not in a negative way, but ferocious push hand champion. I originally remember we were in China, was it 2007 or 2011?
2011.
11. And I had brought some students also, but they were carting people back and forth from the hospital. Their injuries were so serious. Initially, I was opposed to all of this, but over the course of this week and looking at the way in which it is developed, it seems to be the bridge between soft push hands and fighting. You guys are using throws and every kind of locks. It's an incredible sight to see. You've had a lot of experience with push hands. Tell us something about it.
For me, it is a system. And
no, your experience.
Our experience, the experience, they are different. I was participating in Russia in national championships, maybe 10 times, and then Europe, then China. And at this point, it was difficult for me because in China, it's violent art. For me, it is a little bit too much because in our culture, in Western culture, we think that this soft martial art is soft, but actually, it is not. It is soft and hard, balance. And but here in Taiwan, I like it better. A little bit more art here.
Well, not only have you been a champion, but even your students have been champions, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so to me, if you're looking for a teacher, the mark of a good teacher is reflected in his students. And you have such wonderful students. Some of them are here today. Every one of them are genuine, wonderful human beings, and it's been a pleasure getting to meet them.
What we are inheriting in Hunyuan system. Now I more agree with you about the form.
So that's been the advantage of our relationship. We argue about everything.
We argue about everything.
I leave.
Justin was against pushing hands, and what I was against forms. But time has come for me to study, to practice, and to share this knowledge. For the long period of time, I was using just simple exercises. Just Master Fan always said, "single Master Fan, single movement."
Yeah. What about single movement?
Single movement leading to the mastership.
Absolutely. If one movement is well, you have a clue as to how that do the other.
Yeah. But so, if they combine into the form, you have complicated task for your, challenging task for your brain. And sometimes it is good. Sometimes it is good to do something simple, and sometimes it is good to do complicated things and allow your brain to be complicated, to be different, to use different patterns, and it allows to be more flexible in daily life, because you really agree that
movement can be different. That you can be different. You can have different shape, different kind of movement.
Well, I mean, it seems that a really profound understanding of form requires understanding of application.
And internal work.
And
Lego. These three things together.
Yeah.
Master Fan always said, "Tendi Zhenghe," earth people, heaven together.
Heaven, earth people, yeah.
Heaven, earth people together.
Yeah, together.
Tendi Zhenghe. This is the most important thing about traditional culture. It requires these three things together, and something.
Which is very Taoist in philosophy.
Yeah, this is very deep thing, because we see that sky is a huge above, that earth is here, that we are in between, and we all are different. But Master Fan said, if you will practice, you will see all this thing as one.
And have you experienced that? Did you experience that?
Several times.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable, unbelievable. Sometimes it is on the floor, on when you're pushing hands. Sometimes you feel so deep understanding of everything. So
you also
connection.
You also sponsored 2 yearly push hands in Russia, right?
Yeah.
You had over 300 students, many from all different walks of life, all different countries.
From different schools, even martial arts. Jiu-jitsu come, karate come, because some teachers, they say, okay, we are training kids, and the parents say, okay, make our kids ready for this life, but don't throw them to the floor.
Don't hurt them.
Don't hit them. Okay, and what is the decision here? Try pushing hand, because it's about soft force, but it's martial art.
Now you continue to travel all over the world, not just China or Moscow. You've been to the United States, you've been everywhere. And I don't think the West has really known you, but in Europe and places like that, they really know you. I wish there was more opportunity for you to come to the United States, because I feel we're not quite at the level that you are yet. But you're a great teacher. You're very kind, for the most part, except for your friends. And I mean, how many different places do you go in a year?
I'm trying to travel maybe once or twice every 3 months, but generally I sit in Moscow, and I have a big school, and I have a research center, I would say, where we discuss with my students, with teachers of my school. We discuss the future of Taiji, of pushing hand, of internal art. I think this is a kind of special investment we can make into the traditional culture, because information is not properly shared here. It's not discussed. It's closed. Because
Fun complained about that and thought that we are lost a lot of stuff because people were so conservative.
Were not talking. They were not teaching. And to see the development of this culture, we should establish the proper discussion of the form, of the pushing hand, of the internal art.
We're starting today. But I mean, you have, I mean, in the course of a year, how many students do you see?
I have several big schools.
Centers?
maybe 50.
Wow.
50. Okay.
You have several centers throughout the Russia.
I'm trying. I have established the academy, and 7 to 10 people graduate each year. Each year we are
You have students who are teachers now,
teachers,
right? Yeah.
teachers.
Now, what's
And
interesting...
to teach them correctly, I
Yeah.
should comment on this form, pushing in internal art ethics, and what is the most important thing? After every lesson, we sit down and I ask them, what do they feel? What do they think? This is not usual for China.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
this is not usual for the world, because
Well, it's not, it's almost an insult to ask a teacher in China a question outside of what he's showing you now.
Yeah.
If you haven't mastered this, why you want to talk about that? So we're so used to questioning. What I found is there's two ways to teach. One is to be kind and explain everything. The other one is you just conduct a class, they work. If they work, they make progress.
combination wins. Combination, sometimes hard, sometimes soft,
Yeah.
and always discussing. If people do not understand what are they doing, if they are not trying to say what do they feel, what do they think, it's a waste of time. Maybe they will have skills, but probably they will have not enough time to
Yeah.
get skills.
So I divide in my mind Tai Chi into Tai Chi and Tai Chi Quan. Tai Chi Quan, you get everything. Tai Chi, maybe you get a little dance you can do. It's good for you, sure, but it's not going to generate power. Most people do it for relax or for health reasons.
Yeah.
Very few. You're one of the few people who include the martial. You have to have yin and yang. It can't just be talk about stuff. You still, you always have to be able to show, right?
Yep.
I always, okay, show me.
And this is an interesting thing. We know for sure that Master Fan and senior disciples, they never was in the tournament. There
Yeah.
were no video record
Yeah.
of them meeting
Right.
other people and applying the force to the others.
Of course, we
And
do,
here,
know, we
and
do know a lot of
and
stories about Master
we know a
Feng.
lot of stories.
Yeah.
No records.
There are people in the United
scientific-
States who went to push with him. Everybody knows this.
I know,
Famous people.
but when you're on the tournament, what is the most important
Yeah.
thing? Not to injure your partner,
Yes, yeah.
to have a good relation, to show the power, not to injure your partner. When they were applying force in the previous days, it was not that much important. And what we have inside Tai Chi is not applicable in public pushing hand
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah.
Most of techniques, they should be softened, okay?
Well, we're here in Taiwan, the home of Chen Manqing,
Yeah.
the guy, the great master who was very well respected for his push hands and really emphasized the idea that you can move 1,000 pounds with just 3 ounces.
But as we discussed with you, it takes years. It takes years. Even if you accept this idea, you should start from the very basic level of applying the force. If you're not applying it, you cannot refine this. Refining of force, it takes years. It takes years, maybe tens of years. Nobody can be soft and efficient from the very beginning. Nobody can. Nobody can. And we know a lot of people who are arguing, oh, pushing hand.
I argue that.
Yeah. But like with the form, like with the meditation, it takes years.
Yeah.
It takes years.
And commitment. and practice.
And commitment and practice and discussion.
So for some people, health and experience is part of what they're enjoying, without having to necessarily accept the commitment that you have. I don't think I've ever seen you not training except except when we're arguing about stuff.
So refining skills, it takes years, but we should introduce to the general public the simple method, how to start, and then support the medium level practitioners and then high level practitioners and all of them together. 2 weeks before, I have been visiting my teacher.
So hold on. You, Master Feng has passed, or he's still spiritually involved, very much so. One of the greatest human beings I've ever met. But you then became a disciple of who?
Yes, I am the third generation, and I'm disciple of master of my Shifu, Pan Ho Chen.
Pan Ho Chen is kind of like the dean of a university now, right? The Hunyuan University?
He's organizing international conferences.
Well, he's also an intellectual. He wrote the great biography of Master Feng. And you are working on publishing a book.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about him and how does his emphasis differ or overlap?
He is a scientist.
Yeah.
He's a scientist. He was recording the internal method of Master Feng. He was talking with him for many years.
I don't know anybody else who knows as much as he does about the inner...
And he created a book for his disciples.
Oh.
A book is called 8 Steps to the Mastership in Hunyuan. And these are the words of Master Feng recorded.
Well, I mean, I assume it also involves his cultivating all these words and coming up with, especially with the Negung. He's I mean, if anybody's Negung in Hunyuan, it's your Sifu, right?
Yep. He's trying to practice everything, but here we start from the very beginning, from the very internal level, then a little bit outside, then a little bit outside.
So what do you
Step by
recommend for someone who is interested in beginning Tai Chi and is serious about studying the art?
Find a teacher. Find a teacher.
That's not easy. And what I've found is a lot of times because of our own prejudices, and I've known people who've done this, you know, in San Francisco there was a dishwasher, a Chinese dishwasher, who started teaching, I guess, the Beijing 24. He had more students than another person who was white or black or something else. It's just like you want to study basketball from a brother, you want to study Tai Chi from a Chinese person. But what I found today is you guys, the explorers, like the astronauts, you've gone to China, you've lived in the in difficult circumstances, you've experienced hardships. Let me think what I'm saying. And oh yeah, so what I'm saying is, I also went to China, and we study. I don't have fluency in Chinese, so you always have to have an interpreter. Half the time the interpreter doesn't know what he's talking about, he's just translating words. Your generation, I compare them to astronauts. They've gone to China, they've learned the language, they've studied the art, they've created connections, and you brought it back. I would probably today, if they said, do you want to study from Master Vlad or some other person who happens to be Chinese, I would study with Vlad. You have the language, you have the experience, you have the willingness to share. A lot of people, especially some of the old, well, the old masters are pretty much got, all the last dragons are gone. Speaking of last dragons, what is your school name?
The school name is Chenlong.
Meaning?
Chenlong Hunyuan Taiji Future. It means Academy of Chenlong. Chenlong is my name when my teacher accepted me as a disciple. He gave me a new name.
Mingbai.
Yeah, because I'm a dragon here.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It was very interesting. You're a dragon. Master Feng was a dragon.
Was a dragon.
Chen Xiaowan. No.
Chen Xiaowan, yeah.
No, Zhang Shuixing.
Zhang Shuixing.
You came with me and we visited him in Florida. You've met most of the great masters, haven't you?
It was enough.
Yeah.
It was enough for me to practice and to try to achieve their level. I'm interested a lot in this, and I'm open for discussion in internal art, in pushing hand, all kinds of experts. I love to talk about this, and I think that next generation, the Hunyuan 4, they will be much more higher than we. During this visit to my Shifu, I was studying form from him for the 5th time or maybe more. I'm correcting it, and my students and students of my students, several generations were together.
Wow.
And this is the way how the art is growing, really. We compress different generations together. Younger people are learning from the very beginning.
The thing that's amazing.
From the highest level. They don't need these years to come to China. Connection is already established. They spend no time and no money for coming and studying.
So the thing that's crazy to me, and I'll go back to talking about students, is how much, back in the day when I studied, 1967, you didn't have books, you didn't have anything except your teacher. And I was fortunate to study with William C.C. Chen, a real Tai Chi master, martial artist.
But still, Justin, the more information we have, the less time we spend for practice.
This is true.
The more information, the less information we have, the more we rely on going to the park and doing repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right. So what I say is, you know, when I see you teach, you clearly explain everything. You go over to someone who's having trouble and say, okay, let's do this, let's try that.
And then
as opposed to the other masters who say, you just follow me, don't talk. I found that the good students can come from either one. Oftentimes, we talk so much in class that we miss the practice. And the teacher is trying to teach something and he focuses on one, and if you ask a lot of questions, it's like, we just talked about this and you want to talk about some more stuff? Why don't you master what I taught you? I found it doesn't...
That's what I...
Huh? It doesn't make any... I mean, I always believe it's good to be kind and caring. But what my experience has been is a lot depends on the student. If he's not willing to work hard, and
we should properly organize this.
Yeah.
We should come to China and see the top level master, how he's practicing. Then we spend time discussing this, doing the form together. Then everybody should practice by himself. No one can help. No one can help to practice. This is just
and
the education process.
There are different
the process
levels. If you want to get off on the basic level, I know my form, maybe we do the 24 form just for health. You know, that's one way. But you know, I listed all the curriculum of Master Feng in one of my articles. So you have the 83, the 48, the 24, which are all variations of the ilu. Now you also have the Pao Tsui, you have, and this is all Shinja. By Shinja we're talking about the art as it was developed by the foremost master, Chen Faku. He changed things, he added a few movements, and the way he did it, you could see the internal. This is what Feng has done with the 24. If you look at the 24, basically he's saying every movement all the way. You know, no, whole body connection, whole body connection. Everything should be connected. And he's showing you the circle, and you get two circles. It reminds me of the baseball guy. He's getting up to bat the ball, and he takes a few practice swings. And that's what I think Hunyuan does. It gives you the information on what,
one more,
where the power.
one more. Yeah.
What else? One more what?
One more movement, one more movement.
Yeah,
spiral. It is about spiral. About internal is becoming bigger, not immediately.
It's like a snowball.
Yep.
It grows bigger,
Grows bigger,
yeah.
bigger. Okay.
We enjoy to talk together so much. I really love my brother here. He's my very good friend. I'm very proud to have him. I miss him so much. The last time I saw you, I don't know if it was in China or you come to the U.S.
To the US.
Okay, and then it's been 7 years.
Yep.
So I'm 76. My family said, "No, you cannot go by yourself." I said, "Don't worry, my brother's going to take care of me." 13 hours I'm sitting on the plane. But now that I'm here, I feel so happy. And we continually encourage each other to learn and share information and so forth.
Yeah, Justin, and thanks to Taiwan. Taiwan is an interesting place where Eastern and Western culture are...
I've never been here before, but it's beautiful. I mean, everything's well organized. There seems to be no crime. You never see any police or anything. But it's a very relaxing place in which to practice. Tell us a little more about your teacher, his personality, and the kind of things he emphasizes. Your Shifu.
Shifu likes traditional culture a lot. And he said everything is teacher and...
His upright posture.
Yes.
You know,
yes, always.
You make you feel
always.
stupid.
He said, I'm 100 meter and 80 centimeters and not becoming shorter with time. He's upright a lot, and he's practicing with the help of the center of Dantian.
Do they also do the 32, which was the 24 of the Pao Tsui, that got to be the 38, that got to be the 46?
For me, personally, I prefer the Sanshou Pao. The Sanshou Pao is the form, 24 forms of Sanshou Pao.
Yeah. The 32?
No.
Oh, this one?
No, the Sanshou Pao is a is a collection of for me it's true form. It's like real tool to master the martial art. Yeah. And we will come to study this maybe 3 years later to the teacher, and this is interesting. This is also like pre-Hunyuan or collection of forms, and we have Chen style and Xingyi inside this.
And Tongbei.
And Tongbei a little bit.
Even this movement is Tongbei, right? So I like it. I don't practice it. You can't practice it because you have two variations of the Pao Tsui. You've got these other forms.
As for the forms, I think two forms are enough. The soft form and the hard form, it's enough. It doesn't matter which one. It doesn't matter which one. It depends. It just quality matters, as you say. The quality of the movement, the quality of understanding.
Over quantity. Let me see, I wanted to say something about that.
But the forms, the internal and the pushing hand, they are together.
Somebody said, if you understand the ilu or the 20, maybe not the 24, but maybe 48 or something, you just add speed and you have paltui.
No.
I disagree with that.
I disagree. It's
Ridiculous.
completely different.
Yeah, completely
it's
different.
completely different idea, because the breathing is different.
The breathing is
The
different.
breathing is different. You should move with closed center to the end and then relax. You cannot relax in the beginning.
Do you use the reverse breathing? So when you're coming in, does your dantian expand or contract? And then when you release, is the dantian exploding outward or different?
The breathing of Hunyuan is the most secret thing.
Really?
Really.
So it's not just
Because-
natural breath, reverse breath. It's something more.
No. You have inside the contracting of your center, you
Yeah.
have breathing in, breathing out.
Yeah.
Inside the relaxing, you have breathing out, breathing in. Okay. So it's a process of creating our life. It's very deep culture and very deep understanding of the breathing. But when we are moving, we can use different kinds of manipulation with the center. It's very interesting how it is changing the structure.
And the Negan can help to strengthen that without necessarily doing a form. It's doing internal exercises.
Yep. For the health, of the preserving health, I think it's more important. Why? Because when we are sitting, standing, moving, without forms, just normal life, we can practice the internal movement. That what Taoist practice was about. It was about internal movement within the daily routine. Yeah, sitting down, standing up, moving, relaxing. We always can move dantian. And this is the difference between normal people and master. They have internal movement always.
And Master Zhang was also similar. He was a disciple of Master Fan,
Yep.
who you met. And he was very
So
happy
happy.
because this
There
is
is
my...
a funny story about him.
Yeah, I introduced him to my brother Vlad. And he said, Vladimir, in the war, I had a Russian advisor whose name was Vladimir. So all of a sudden he was very happy to see my brother.
And after the flight, my hands are usually warm.
Yeah.
But after the flight from St. Louis to somewhere, and we were
Okay.
flying for
right.
maybe one
It's
day.
it's not just
I was
about
cold,
Tai Chi.
and Master John
Yeah.
said, "Oh, you need to sleep, to eat, relax. Why you are so cold?"
Well, the problem was, all right, now we talk about some other things. We've had so much fun together as friends who explore our mutual common interest. And there was a big snowstorm in the middle of America where I lived. And we were going to go to San Francisco, which is on the West Coast. But we went to the airport 3 times.
Yeah, and
Cancel.
nothing was flying. Nothing. It was
So
silent.
we went back, and
To
instead
Chicago.
of going west, maybe
Chicago.
Cleveland,
Yeah, or something.
something like that. Instead of going directly to San Francisco, we had to go back towards like New York in order to get a plane that would actually take us to. But you know, with 2 guys like me and him, we never bored. We always have a
No.
good time.
Always fun.
Yeah, always fun. And life should be a little bit fun, right? It's hard enough as is.
And Master John was scared me so much because he showed me the application,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
something cracked inside my arm.
Yeah.
And he said, "Okay, you can push with my students." I said, "Whoa, they will break my bones." But
No,
It was okay. It was okay.
There's very few, nobody really had the high level that you had, none whatsoever. I mean, they're all good students, but none.
How
of them
it can be? How, Justin? How do you think?
Well,
Why students are not inheriting
They're
the?
working. They have kids. They don't have the time or the interest or the money.
Master John was the highest level of in China in things like this.
So we can
It was scaring me.
We can answer the question. Master Zhang Xuexing, who recently died a couple of years ago, and I put a story about him. I put a video on YouTube where a private class in his backyard.
Yeah.
So what Vlad is talking about, you almost have to see. When he did push-ins, you never felt anything. Whatever you touched was already moving, and then all of a sudden. But why? As a matter of fact, every movement in the form had a chinna. So like Jinggang Da Dui, this movement, it's not just an uppercut. It's like he grabbed your fingers.
Yes.
Then do this, and then
you almost
throw you out.
Yeah.
This is highest quality because he had the chance to study with Chen Xiaokuai. So I really question whether he should be considered Hunyuan. He and Feng were best friends. When you see them, they would laugh, they would drink. They had such a good, just like you and me. They knew each other from the old days.
Yep.
And Zhang was in the military,
Yes.
so he could travel and study with Master Feng. But a lot of the China is missing, and yet this is one of the highest level of information, of martial information, the China. I don't see anybody, I mean, you teach it, but I don't see anybody practicing it too much.
He's practicing this, but he says step by step.
Yeah, so if you want to
Step by
see more, just go YouTube, J. Justin Meehan, and you'll see a backyard. Actually, it's kind of funny too because he was so old school. So we're in the backyard, and 3 hours go by, 4 hours go by, and Master Zhang, I go bathroom? Oh, okay, you come here. He grabbed me by my hand. He take me over to the edge of his backyard, and there's just a wooden bucket with a stopper.
Yeah.
You do outside, and then he was down to earth. I mean, more than down to earth. He was just bare bones, straight biz. So I don't think there are any high-level masters from China that are really active or.
Personally, I created a mantra for myself.
Let's hear it.
I say thanks to the masters of the past.
Yeah.
Because
Way past.
they have created something unbelievable. And I hope we can understand this. And I have words in mantra that masters of the present time, I wish all of them to reach the highest level. If they will not achieve the level of the past masters, then we are doing something wrong.
Very few people are going to be a master.
Yeah, we should try. We have more time.
People do try. They just call themselves master. They are.
Oh, we understand what are we talking about.
Yeah.
But
So-
in our art, we can prove.
Yeah.
We can prove. We
Yeah.
have internal aspect. We have form, and we have pushing hand.
Can you comment a little bit about the Laojiao, which is the traditional old school form that looks a lot like the Yang style in some respects? You can certainly see Yang style came from Chen style. There's no question.
No question.
The sequence, the names, everything. And then Master Chen Fa Ke, for the first time they left the Chen village where it was secret. and he went to Beijing and started teaching openly. And nobody could touch him. There are verified accounts of his mastery. But he changed the form. He added a few movements. Can you comment a little bit? I personally think the Lao Jia is easier.
This is what I'm talking about.
That's what I want
During the lifetime of one master,
Yeah.
the tradition he has is changing. How it is possible? There was a society of researchers with Huyao Jane, with many different masters.
Yeah.
They were talking, they were practicing together, they were drinking tea, they were discussing. And at the end of this discussion, there were a lot of changes in the practice. This is how the culture is changed. It requires discussion and massive concentration of mastership. Concentration of different masters should sit together and create
that was rare.
something new.
That was rare. I feel that you have done more to open up the discussion about things that were hidden and sharing them openly if the person could do it than the old guys. And then a lot of times the old guys, that was the only job they had.
Yep.
So in the old days, it was just, you could only have one disciple pretty much. Because, and then we talked about it before, every time you have a student and you authorize him to become a teacher, you've lost a student. And then you're competing with your own
We should organize this. We have a tradition of writing down the agreement between teacher and student.
But we have lawyers, like my brother over here, and he will have to look at the contract and make sure it is okay. Georgie, I said it right?
Yeah, George, yeah.
I love him so much. I just met him. He is a good man. He voluntarily helps people in Russia who are depressed or mistreated or don't know how to use the legal system, voluntarily without asking for money. Don't go to him because you don't have any money, because he's good. You have him for a lawyer. You are facing the spirit and generosity of someone who cares. We don't need any more.
You were doing.
We don't
in
need
St.
any more
Louis.
fighters. We really don't need fighters at all. We need good human beings.
Yeah.
But go back to. We can talk about me some other day. You can interview me.
Yeah.
Let's. How do you see the difference?
About changing culture.
Oh, I'm going to get to that, but I want to hear your a little more specifics about how you see the difference. Did you ever do the Lao Jia?
No.
Oh, Lao Jia is actually much easier.
I've been.
It's much easier to learn.
Yep.
Yeah, Xinjia has so much intricacy. On the surface, you could say it's just a form, but when you put in the Neijia and everything, it's from another world almost, in my opinion. It's funny how
It's combination of internal and external. Lao Jia is much more external.
And I notice the other thing about the Hunyuan system, you can see kind of what's going on the inside. You know, other people, like when they do something, they just turn their body. You know, this way you sink, you can still generate power here and must do so, which is why Feng, I think, put this introductory circle before he released the power. So I think Xinjia is very hard to learn, but with the gift of the 24 form, now we're not talking Xinjia, we're talking Hunyuan.
We're talking Hunyuan?
If in the old days, if you study Yang style, you're never going to get it perfectly because you're not Yang. If you're Chen style, you're always imitating.
In nowadays, we can practice Qigong. For ordinary people, we use Qigong exercises which are more flat.
Yes.
Which are more pretty well organized. In Huyao Zhen system, we use the art of touching the surface of the wall, the art of touching the fish, the art of moving the ball. Then after this, you can see what is spiral. Without learning this flat movement, it is very difficult to understand what is spiral movement, what is three-dimensional movement, because Qigong here is the elementary movement. Elementary movement is important because our brain loves to understand things clearly. If understanding is not clear, we will always have doubts. What are we doing? Are they correct? Are they not correct? What is going on?
Well, you know one thing.
Here I see if we combine what different generation were doing. The generation of Hu Yaojin, the generation of Master Fan. Nowadays, we should study them all and create the nice system for beginners, for middle level, for higher level, for highest level. And we should organize the process. So
now
maybe
you were talking about modern teaching versus past teaching, right? What did you say about that? Modern teaching.
Modern teaching, I think we are creating the education system. We are creating education system with it's more about human beings. We should start from the simple and move to the more complicated things, and then further to the level of our teachers.
Master Feng always said, if you're studying on this level, it's a clear indication that in your past life you've done good. So whether we master it this lifetime or not, next lifetime we'll have a little bit of a head start. The fact that you're studying Taiji, if it's Taiji Chuan, if it's correct, is almost a spiritual journey, right?
Yep.
And maybe somebody else likes golf or baseball, but there's a karmic inheritance that comes with pursuing spiritual perfection, right? Kabul? He's just nodding. I don't know. He's probably thinking, this guy's crazy. I don't want to say anything.
Talk for hours.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer. Oh yeah, we talk for hours. So is that what you wanted to say? But you were saying, I was asking you what kind of things you think would be interesting. You were saying the modern teaching as opposed
to... The modern teaching should be scientific. We should...
Scientific.
Yeah, we should measure. We
Yeah.
should measure the result of this process.
Not a fantasy.
Not a fantasy.
Yeah.
We should measure the results.
And how are you doing that?
We have program for internal, for Qigong,
Yeah.
for the form,
Yeah.
for the pushing hands. In each of these fields, we should move from simple things to more complicated things, and to compare it to the other schools. Compare the skills, discuss the form, and discuss the internal movement.
Now you do that as part of your curriculum.
Yep.
After every class?
After every class, we have some discussion, and on the instructor's course, we have huge discussion, big discussion.
Oh, what is that like?
They write essays.
Really?
Really?
Oh, I remember when we were there, they published a book.
Yeah, yes.
And many different teachers. Some of it was, okay, some of it was really high level. But if it's high level, you're not going to understand it from a book. It opens your mind that there's something out there, but how to get there.
Combination wins. Combination wins. They're kind of scientific work and good practical skill together, and the ability of teachers to teach.
And you and I actually tried to get a organization of people who wanted to contribute together. Remember when we were in San Francisco? Didn't happen. But you still believe that we can create a community of people willing to share information and assist
Without
each other.
creating this community and a level of a high level of discussion, we will not achieve progress. We will not achieve progress. Not only the hard practice matters, the understanding, the quality of teaching. If, for example, hardworking student is doing something wrong, it will make no good.
It's harder to correct.
It's harder to correct.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than having somebody come in who spent a couple of years studying with somebody who really didn't have too much information. They say it's easy to learn but hard to correct.
Okay. But okay, we have maybe 3 minutes more.
This is just part one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Justin.
What do you want to say about in 3 minutes?
In 3 minutes, I would. I come to the conclusion that international. Just.
Okay.
That Taiji and pushing hand. This is international object. Now, it will live and be developed with the help of people from many different countries. China is a basic source of this knowledge, but it will be developed internationally.
Most of the people I know and study with have pretty much passed. And I consider myself a Ronin. But if I had the opportunity to study with somebody today, and people know I'm very honest, I'm very real. I'm so proud to be able to introduce you to my brother. Pay attention. He has some stuff on YouTube. You have the sword form. When he does the sword form, he keeps the scabbard, which makes a lot of sense for blocking, double hitting, things like that. It's a beautiful form. You can see it on YouTube. He's a great martial artist.
And public in China were interested.
Yeah, they had some people complain, or they were happy. I felt like that.
But I think the most efficient way for younger people to study is to study from these groups, masters group.
Where are they?
Oh, yeah, we have a lot of them.
Yeah.
And when you comment on the 24 forms, this is a very efficient way for them to progress. Because as you said, I say them the same things, but from you, they hear better.
A new teacher come. Oh, okay. So how can someone get in touch with you if they want to explore more?
We have a
up.
website.
Oh, what's the website?
Taiji Pro. Yeah, we are
We're
finishing
just
just
beginning.
Yeah, the battery is almost finished.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
How do you feel? Did you have fun? Did you enjoy?
It's great.
Maybe we can do another one. I'm just,
Maybe.
this is just the surface.
This is just the surface, the beginning.
But this way people get it. I mean, I really feel they get a chance to meet him as a person. When you hear him talk and you see his smile, you immediately know that this is a good guy, somebody well worth studying from. His students love him, and he has so many. Babuha? Thank you.